your car too.
Let's go with the granny flag. Is that a Supra?
Who did it? Come on!
Dead white.
So, this is the Delkevic 4-to-1 exhaust that we're going to be putting on this. Should not be a big problem, but nothing is exactly bolt-on in the modification world. This is what we got. I have just thrown it together to make sure everything fits and looks semi-decently. So I have oriented myself, but nothing is actually put in really at all. I've kind of just thrown it together. So it's a very nice kit. It was all extremely super wrapped. Very happy with it. It was drop shipped from the manufacturer. I also bought this from Z1 Enterprises. Their customer service was excellent because it didn't show up with all of this stuff, and I panicked. And they said, no, you're just an idiot. It comes drop shipped. So that was great. So we do have a little cute brand new tube of sealant, our exhaust gaskets and springs, and it's got that neat little tool for the springs, and that's what's going to hold each pipe onto the collector. And then we've got our very nice clamp. So we're going to take all this dude off. No, it will not be for sale. It's going to go in the originals box because I am not cutting or maiming anything on this bike. I want everything to be bolt on, bolt off, return it to stock. Nothing will even be painted other than the blue stuff that we've already discussed. I am not going to flip these and paint them. I'm going to take them off and just replace them with something else. I'm not painting these. I'm not, nothing. I want it all kept in a box, original, for whatever reason. So, should be pretty easy to take this off, especially since we just did the shocks last night and I loosened these two bolts down here and on the other side. It should come off pretty easily. Of course, if you've got a bike from the frigid Rust Belt, you are going to have other problems. I don't foresee this being a super involved deal, but I'm not going to waste time babbling about it. I'm just going to get cracking. First things first, I'm going to loosen everything up, all 8 of the flange bolts, and underneath it we've got more bolts, as we can see there, and some more up under there. Very interesting exhaust system. And I don't know whether these need to be loosened. These might just be the heat shield, I think. Don't know if I'm gonna even try to take those off unless I have to. I don't want them to break off. Then of course, these bolts on each side. And I don't know. I'm assuming this will come out, and that's just a strange, oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot, haven't filmed in a while. I don't know whether that's like a special nut or whatever to keep the back foot pegs on. You might not need them. I do. The lady likes to ride with me. But we're going to figure that one out as we go. And all this stuff's going to be... Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that at all? Branded 1979. It's got a freaking serial number on the mufflers. Look at that. Really a wonderful motorcycle, this. So let's just get started, start cracking stuff loose, and I'll bring you guys on and off back as we go. Shockingly easy. So it was literally 2 bolts for each flange. Okay, loosened them all up, got that nice and loose. Then it was 2 bolts on each side here. So it was literally suspended by the 4 bolts in the back and the bolts at the top. Now I am probably going to soak all these other bolts in some penetrating fluid and actually dissect this and take it apart and box it up so nothing gets bent or twisted. These were heat shields Very interesting exhaust, really. Very well done. 2-into-1. Kawasaki. They're not dummies. Well, we are still gonna have to look at this and remove one of these, and now that I can see it and rotate it around, it looks like this bracket is just suspended on that nut, and that'll come right off. You can keep the foot peg, etc. Yeah. And this exhaust will go on the exact same way. So we're going to loosely fit it, as you see, and take this loose, and as soon as we get these loosely in place, we're going to slip off the collector and put the sealant on it and seal it up and put it all together. But when you do take this off, thing to note, don't lose, I don't know, we can't call that a shim. I'm guessing that's what the exhaust flange pressed against to hold the pipe. Right there up against the head. But don't forget to take these out too. These are your little exhaust gaskets. Delkevic sent us new ones in our packet. We're going to use those. This all should go back together pretty quickly. This is a pretty quick mod. I'm kind of dying to hear what it sounds like, and it does have a removable baffle. I don't know how deaf I want to be after riding this thing. Riding that damn thing around. So I'm going to poke around with these brackets, see about getting them off. Especially on the other side, because this exhaust runs on throttle side. Should end right around here. It's gonna look pretty nice, I think. So I'm gonna take off one of them brackets and we're gonna come back and discuss that. Super freaking easy. It was a 14mm, and the bolt backed right out. I used my short socket, my deep, for some reason didn't want to fit in there. Bolt came out, and just like thought, there is a nut in here. You could probably get the nut out of there pretty easily. Like I said, I don't really want to molest any parts off this. So I had some extra shouldered nuts that will work, and washers that is probably unnecessary, but I'm gonna use them anyway. And gonna do the other one and start putting this dude back on. So that didn't go too bad. I put each pipe in, and don't forget to put your little donuts in. And I used this very large 1.1/8" socket to make sure, because this one wasn't quite seating, like it was a little bit too big, so it wouldn't go up in the hole. So I just gave her a gentle little love cuddle, and she popped right up into the head. And I loosely put each header pipe, and not tight, okay? We need to move, because we've got to let everything, not that, I don't know why I talk like none of y'all know what you're doing when you're probably, by the very least, shade tree mechanics frowning on me out here in shorts. But make sure everything can move a little bit as we get this stuff seated. The most difficult part I had was these springs, because they're so stiff, but they gave us our nifty tool that did help. And I did get them all on by myself, and I'm not in the best shape anymore. But make sure you use your exhaust sealant. I need to put the cap back on it, actually. I probably used about half the tube, spread it around with the finger, made sure that got a pretty even coating. Well, I was talking and the camera killed it. I'm gonna put this into my little toolbox tube of all my other stuffs. And the last thing is we are going to get this situated and see how it fits on there. I think I got the bracket hanging on there correctly. I think. Yes, I do. Haha, victory for a guess. And we need to get our clamp, which I need to take that back off for the clamp on. I want to see if I had it on there the right way. But not too low. It looks really freaking sporty looking. Looks real good. So yep, I'm gonna put the clamp on there and bolt that on there, and we're gonna give her a tickle and see what she sounds like. Do you want to hear it? Let's see if I can make a little roomsy for y'all. Cold, I don't want to rev on it. It sounds so good. A little poppy, but good.
You can see my sealant is burning on in my fingerprints.
But I think it sounds so good. And it looks nice too. Oh, it's goldening already. Oh, I'm gonna take them stickers off. Forgot about that. Look at that. Well, not bad for a 40-year-old girl. I think she looks pretty nice. I will be riding it tomorrow to work. Something worth noting. If you're keeping the center stand like I am, we're gonna have to figure something out. I know the fix I'm gonna eventually do, but for now, I have terrible lighting. Can you see that I put that bracket back on? And I put it on pretty tight. Hopefully it won't vibrate. If this was more in the season, I'd probably take the center stand off until I could come up with my more permanent fix. I'm gonna carry a ratchet with me in case it does come loose. Center stand was hitting the chain. So some quick online searching, and it appears people get a longer bolt. So there's two of these. They get a longer front bolt and screw it in there and put a piece of rubber over it, and it holds the kickstand down, which is what I'll end up doing. Unless possibly, there's an idea. I could get a piece of aluminum angle iron, which I have a bunch of, and just drill a small piece and let it stick out under here and let this rest up against the piece of angle iron. That's probably what I'll do temporarily and see how it works. But anyway, there we go. Oh, also during my reading, some people, and I don't know how true this is, this might just be one fool repeating another fool's words, but it was interesting. They say gold means your carbs are set up right and you're not running lean. If they turn blue, you're leaning out. I don't know how accurate that is, but either way, I thought it was interesting. Okay, well, that's it. Bye, everybody.
Come on, boss! Come on! Yeah!